So just request any of you to give a small introduction of your startup along with your top 2-3 constraints currently, and then we'll continue the discussion from there. Anyone who want to go first? And request you to just keep the video on so that I know you are there. Otherwise, keep on blabbering and nobody is listening.
Sir, I'm actually traveling, so I can't.
Sure, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
So, but then keep on disturbing in between.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, hope I can start.
Yeah.
So I'll give
Your
a quick
name is
intro.
Kevin.
Yeah,
Fine.
Anil Kevin, but you can call me Kevin. Yeah. So I'm the founder of Zappal Labs. Zappal is a company right now operating out of Bangalore, which specializes in developing blockchain-based applications. And at
Blockchain-based
Zappal,
applications.
yes,
Fine.
and we have a product called as Legit Doc, a SaaS product, but again in a hybrid format, using which any enterprise or governments can issue and manage verifiable credentials, meaning the records of importance, let's say land records, education records, and so using blockchains. And so far, our solution has been adopted by specifically government departments. I would say 95% of our customers are governments who are paying clients since the last 3-4 years in India and abroad, who has been using our system to issue critical records such as land records, sensitive gender-based violence records, caste records, municipality records, education records, diploma records, so on and so. So this is what we have been doing, and mainly our product has been a good hit among the government sector because of in India there's a policy called as National Blockchain Policy, which has kind of not mandated but has given a guideline to all the government departments to migrate all of their document stack to blockchain. That's where we are seeing a lot of demand. So that's what we are. And right now we are a scaling company, positive cash flow. It's a completely bootstrap company. We're not looking for any investors. And for us, the challenge is, I mean, it's a scaling thing, right? We are trying to acquire as many government clients as possible. And typically in government sector, the conversion time compared to B2B sectors is slightly higher. Like let's say it takes us two months to close a B2B clients in the typical market scenario. In B2G, it's probably 4 to 6 months. But still, the ticket size is worth to wait that long. That's the only concern that we have right now.
Got it. So you are saying that you have hit a jackpot in a way.
In a small way, but trying to make a larger jackpot. Yeah.
There is no issue at all because you are scaling, and the only concern which you have is the time period with the government. Correct? The time it take to close the deal.
I wouldn't say that time it takes to close a deal is a constraint. So for us, that's an accepted fact. Even nobody can help anything about it.
Sure. So what is the constraint then?
For me, the constraint is reaching out to a larger client. So getting more.
So currently, how many clients you have? Let me ask you.
15 plus comments.
15. Yeah. For how long? 3 years. You
3 years.
To acquire this 15.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. But these are very large scale contracts, like 3 years, 4 year contracts. So a client that is signed up stays on with us for let's say 3-4 years, 5 years, and sometimes.
And what is the average ticket size?
Right now, it's somewhere about. Again, it varies.
No, I'm saying average. That's why I'm saying average.
It is about right now. It is about let's say 50 lakhs. Early on, the ticket size used to be smaller, but these days we have latest client that we have signed up is a 5-year client. Yeah.
Got it. So as you are maturing, you are scaling with the individual deal itself.
Yeah. The only client the problem I wanted to highlight is since we are dealing to governments, right? And governments, contrary to how it is, it's a very network ring fence sector. Like to get into that particular network, you need to access it via third parties or people who are already within the network. So finding them and getting into that is the constraint that we have.
Got it. So connect with me after the call. Maybe I'll introduce with one or two.
Sure.
Such people who are closely with the government might help you to
start
the conversation in those respective regions where they hold the key. Correct. Because not everybody, is familiar with each area because people have a hold in their specific area they belongs to, the government especially.
Yeah, it's a localized play.
It's a localized play.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a localized play.
Yeah.
Got it. So scaling, so the way I see it, the speed of scaling is a thing which you wanted to do further, correct?
Yeah.
Fine. And how many people you have?
Right now it is 12 people.
12. How many in the market side?
3 of us.
3 of you. 3 of you means one founder and 2 sales guys. So basically 2 sales guy.
Yes.
You should ignore the founder always. So it means then out of 12 people, you have actually 9 people who are in development side, correct?
Yeah.
And 2 people at the other side. The product need to be further evolved or it's done mostly for the kind of use cases you are addressing?
Yeah, it's almost mature. Obviously, there are further enhancements that we are doing, but the product is pretty much mature, right?
Because there is no limit to enhancement part.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm curious to know whether it's done or it's still further need to be.
Yeah, it's done. But what happens is that because we are dealing with governments, right? And everybody has their own kind of system. So my product is done. I have to go and deploy it on his integration efforts. support
Got it.
efforts are always there. Yeah.
Got it. So have you created all kind of interfaces and all those things with integration? Or have you done any kind of study that in government departments, what all systems you have to generally integrate? Because by now you are 3 years in the system.
Yeah. So we have had we have these generic APIs that we have developed, and even SDKs which can be spawned off in various kind of cloud environment.
Sure.
So it's highly configurable, but yeah, there is level, especially when you deal with government, it's an ocean of
Sure.
possibilities. Some people want to do it
Sure.
on the state data center,
Sure.
they have their own cloud, or they want to do it on our cloud. They want to integrate with their legacy system or very new system. So we try to make it as generic as possible, but there are these corner cases where you have to integrate, and we get paid for that as well. It's not like we don't get paid.
Yeah. Got it. Fine, Kevin. So the way I see it there, Kevin, then basically among the scale-up issue which you are dealing with, the first thing you need to scale up is your sales team.
Yep.
Pretty simple, because without that you will not be able to scale. It's not an area where you can able to scale through digital means and other means. Correct. You require people with face value. Correct. When I'm saying face value, who are familiar with government and ability to navigate with that government ecosystems and reach out to the right people to build those relations so that they'll give you inside informations about the kind of things which you need to work for and to deal with government. Correct.
Exactly. Yeah.
So people who are good with people, let me put it this way. So what's your hiring plan? Let me ask you then. Sales side.
See, right now, as you rightly told, we have 2 people, and I hire based on I look at my runway and I hire based on that. And it is not like, let's say I add 5 more salespeople, suddenly my customers will increase. The problem is, I have not the problem, but the way it is that we have to go and map out in every state. You have to find these 2 to 3 people who are not part of the team, but who can get us into that particular network, right? Who are our partners. So right now, what we have done, there are 2 angles to my scaling in my experience. One is the partner network and my in-house sale, right? Across India right now, plus 30 plus states, we already have a very strong partner network across, I would say, around 8 states. Right.
Got it.
My one this thing is find the right partners, because they don't have to be on my payroll, and they are the ones actually who make things possible. And my sales team just enables them. So my sales team, no matter even if I hired a
so actually then yours are not then actual salespeople, they are mostly the partner support people.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You got the point. Because even Harvard MBA will not be able to come and crack.
No, I got it. So they are partner support people. Then you should name them that way. Don't call them sales guys.
Yes.
Because terminology is quite important for you to communicate as well as for people to get it also. Because otherwise, people like me who do not or who do not know about your company would assume that okay, these are the people who are actually going and meeting with the client and fine. So basically, then what you need to do currently is build those partner network among all 30 states. Correct?
Yes, you're right.
Got it. And continue to see the performance of these partners and see which one is performing, which one is not performing, and keep replacing whichever is not performing and finding out the new people. Correct. So that side you need to be stronger. Yes. Because not every partner is good enough also, I would say, because they are third party. You can't control them. You can't control their schedule. You can't control their outcome and all those things. They are on their own.
Yeah.
Correct. So what kind of motivations you have created for partners? Let me ask you then differently.
So it's directly, everything is based on incentive basis. So then higher, so they get a cut of the sale. That depends on partner to partner. So that is anywhere between 10 to 15% that goes to the partner. Sure. And obviously within a government system, there are certain enablers that have to be done. So that is again separately calculated. That is given to the partner and the partner outside out.
Sure. So on overall, how much goes into the overall sales process? Let me ask you this.
The entire ticket size anywhere, but again, there have been some scenarios whereby it has been 0, where it has been in-house. But in some of these kind of partner-enabled scenarios, it goes up to sometimes up to 45% as well. But we adjust the project value such that we keep our margins. Yeah.
Got it. So then your partners generally take 10 to 15%, and the enable game average, I would consider then 20-25%.
Yeah.
Correct. So overall 30 to 35% goes as a part of the cost of sales.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Fine. But since you are dealing with a certain type of customers, margins are not an issue because you can play with the size and other stuff. Correct.
Yes.
Got it. And these, how do you identify these partners?
In a lot of places, partners identify us. So the way what I've done is that what we try to do is that, so whenever, I'll give a simple example, right? So we did a land record project with the government of Chhattisgarh. So what I don't know whether it is chance or what we have tried to do is we have developed a very good network of organic news editors, for example, in Times India and all of that. And they are waiting for good news on these emerging technologies. So when I go and publish news saying that Labs has done on land records in government of Chhattisgarh, suddenly I get an influx of partners from 10 different states who came that, hey, I have a connect within this. Can I work with you? So this has been the way that I have done.
So basically you're saying the PR is helping you to reach out to these partners.
Yes.
And
that
how frequently you do the PR?
Based on the project to project basis. So like I would say once in 2 months. So once in 2 months, we deploy a new project and we do a.
So maybe one way to address is that basically in the states where you do not have the partners or partner network, there is a good amount of local media or
Yes.
local media, when I'm saying the newspapers and all those things that are specific to, let's say in Rajasthan, you have Rajasthan Patrika.
Yeah.
Or there's another channel paper just like Rajasthan, which is also highly popular in Rajasthan. Correct. So if you some news comes on that one, then people will read, and the same effect could be possible. What you're suggesting, because most of the people read those newspapers. Correct.
Correct.
So maybe focusing on those local media or newspapers could help you to further start the conversation with potential partners who might be interested in.
Yeah, that seems like a good strategy.
Yeah, based on what you suggested, because since I'm limited by what you are sharing with me.
Yes.
So that's one. Second thing is also in the states where you are not there, basically where you do not have these things, also good to create a dedicated campaigns per se. One is the PR, you are already doing it. But beyond the PRs, let's say what you have is there, every state has something called a local chamber of commerce, like Rajasthan Chamber of Commerce, Chhattisgarh Chamber of Commerce, correct? And people who work closely with governments are part of those chamber of commerce, because that's the first thing most of the government work organizations or organizations that work with the government do. First thing, they go and register in these chambers of commerce. Many of them are dead also, but they exist.
Yes.
Means activity wise, I'm saying that they may not do much activity, but as a forum they exist.
Correct.
So your job is to first go and register in those chamber of commerce, or possible to and dedicatedly do some kind of campaign through that chamber of commerce, because you'll get very, very high quality partners there who are already working with governments deep into that part.
Yep. That's a good section.
That will help you a lot in terms of cracking the right kind of partner, because here I see your constraint is actually the quality of partner.
Exactly. You got it right. Yeah.
So then you should have highlighted that part first when I asked the constraint. Okay. But I need to probe it. Since what happens, no startups or no companies could exist without constraints. Okay.
Correct.
It's just most of the founders do not pay good attention or time efforts to find out what is my core constraint. Because once you identify that part, then your focus should go a lot on that side, as yesterday we discussed.
Yes.
So this quality of these partners are quite key for you. And so for that, you need to then build also a robust partner evaluation system internally.
Sure.
Because the quality of these partners would define the quality of your growth as well as your efforts. Correct.
Yes.
Into the overall market game. Correct.
Yes.
So create kind of some kind of partner evaluation. These things in terms of, let's say, the number of leads he could able to bring, or the kind of connects he could get you into the foots, into those things and all those things. The closer side, how effective he was, up to where his reach is in the government systems. So consider all those parameters, which will be unique to your startup. You'll not find on internet most of these things. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. But once you start putting your mind, because you know what all matter to close a deal for me.
Yes.
Correct. Take all those parameters and convert into partner evaluation system or something like that.
Yeah.
Correct. That will create some kind of structured format for you to start evaluating these partners and start prioritizing, because you always have constraints of bandwidth in terms of, let's say, not now since you are small enough, but as you grow per se. Correct. Let's say you have 30 states and all those things, and each states you have 2-3 partners. You got 80-90 partners. So if you do not prioritize from the relations, from the reach out, from the effort part and all those things, you'll not be that much effective. Correct. And since we are dealing with the scaling here, putting that partner evaluation system early on would help you a lot. And being active in these localized, what you call it, business meetup groups, which is just like Chamber of Commerce or something where government players are active mostly, or organizations that work with the governments are active per se, is your play to find out those quality of these things. And also try to see if you could able to create some kind of digital mailing system or something which highlights how the government has benefited out of it, and then mail to all the members of the Chamber of Commerce or something like that, once you build the relations. Correct.
We have been doing certain part of it, like newsletters, and see who, like, we have a list of, like, exactly how you're saying, but probably not the chamber of this thing. So let's say we have a list of all IAS officers who interacted with, they have referred to. We keep writing to them whenever a new department implements. We publish a case study on that, and via Substack we even track who is reading it again and again, so that we can reach out to them. Yeah, that is part slightly weird.
Brilliant. So just extend that one stage further.
Yeah.
Okay. Those who are reading further, don't write them. Go and meet them.
Yes.
Okay. Because since you are dealing with the government professionals, correct?
Yes.
Writing them won't help.
Yes.
Going and meeting them would help. And that's where either your partners could meet or your enablers could meet people per se. But go and meet them and discuss with them the possibilities, just open way per se. Sir, and just wanted to take your feedback, your guidance or something, put them at high pedestal. Let me put it this way. Become a good boy, in front of them. Okay. Because government servants likes good boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
They like people whom they can rely on.
They
Blindly
can rely on,
yes.
and those who listen them well, basically. So listening is the key out there. So, and keep it a habit in terms of people who have a good hold on the within the government. Let's say that when I'm saying good hold in terms of the networks of or who knows good number of IAS officers and all those things, or who knows per se, have a kind of frequency of meeting with them. When I'm saying frequency in terms of relationship maintained, not like once in a year you have met and then people forget it. Relation doesn't build that way. When I'm saying frequency, at least find out options where they hang out. You go and meet those events, go attend those events. Correct. So chance meetups are possible. Track them, where all they are, what all activities they participate in, those kind of things. And some kind of calendar that once you meet them and suggest that, sir, is it okay if I meet you come after 2 months back or 1 month back? So every meeting should close. When should we meet again? Okay, because that will continue to have that relationship part. Correct. That will help you a lot. Third thing, the way I also see is that in the government, basically stakeholder management is the key. Correct. Stakeholder management, when I'm saying there are multiple type of people that include IAS officers plus also the babus who sometime are more influencer than the IAS officer himself, and because he has the perchi who passes to somebody. Correct. So while you basically identify these partners, figure out how adept they are in these things. In terms of discussing their past projects, how they have got it and all that part, go deeper into their history of working with the government. Because one way is that everybody says that I can able to do this, I can connect with this, I can do that and all that things, which is basically selling themselves. But and one way to know is that how effective they have been is to knowing their past activities and how effective they have been in that part, what kind of projects they are already dealing with. Correct. Because if they are not effective for themselves, how can they be effective for you? Because first thing, they have to be effective for themselves. So those parameters also you can bake into your vendor evaluation or partner evaluation. Let me put it this way. Now, for same thing, the relationship building, I think you should also do with the PR agency, the local PR agencies, relationship building part. And there also you will see that there are few journalists who cover certain beats more often than others. That's the nature of PR agency. Correct. Some people cover the technology, some people cover the startups, let's say, or something government related things, and you are on mixture of all three of them. So you can reach out to any of these three, figure out one or two nice guys, and if possible, continue to hold a kind of, let's say, quarterly meet, invite all of them at one place or something. Correct. For a tea or for a coffee, where you then basically learn from them in a way, hey guys, and do those meetups locally there in those states, so that they don't have to travel to Bangalore and other places. Chai pe charcha, basically. Okay, where then they'll be more obliged to or something compliant to post the news, and they themselves will start feeding you where all they can write it for you and all those things. So relationship building is the key in that space also. Would give you certain head starts in scaling up fast. Third thing is that now the technology part is done fully, or I would say 70 to 80%, because the 20-30% would continue always. You should shift away from the blockchain and technology language. Okay, because when you introduce yourself, your initial introduction was when you introduce your startups, you're a blockchain based technology service provider. Then what you did further is, okay, I provide blockchain based technology in areas where people need to have unique identification of records and all that stuff. Correct. Bring that part first. Okay, because technology has to serve the cause. The cause doesn't have to serve the technology. Correct. So when I'm saying a little bit work on your introduction side, because that's your first impression with anybody, whether it's government representative or me or anybody else whom you interact. Correct. Try to highlight, let's say in government, when they have to maintain land record or something, what kind of struggle they face. And in your introduction, that struggle should come out, which you address, which is not coming out currently. Got it. So the impact of your conversation or your introduction will be pretty heavy. Because that struggle makes you powerful. Because blockchain nowadays, you have so many, I would say, companies in India who can do blockchain, companies or individuals. Correct. And many of them open source chains are available where releasing these things would be easy job, not such a difficult job. It's the ecosystem and the particular use case specific aspects that you build in is the key for you. Correct. How you are navigating to the government and the ecosystems that you are creating and all that stuff, as well as basically the the hands and legs that you have created to address that specific use cases that government want to deal with. Correct. Those are something, the extensions of existing chains or these things that you have done is the key.
Yeah.
Correct. So then later stage you introduce, if somebody is tech heavy guy or based on the personality you are meeting with, that how you do is with ledger based blockchain, whatever basically is a tokenized based blockchain or whatever mechanism you are using to create that unique handshake. Correct. And then introduce that part, and a little bit might be add certain good futuristic catchword there, because technologists like that a lot. Correct. Because a guy who is dealing with blockchain might want to hear something more about that. But first, the struggle has to come out. The struggle that you are solving with, whether and since you're mostly 97%, though I would assume that 100% is a government play. Correct. And government want to address certain things. So highlight that part. And because what happens, these things will get reflected into your the way you address the media, you address the articles, all that part. You can bring the real stories. Let's say somebody who has benefited once you have, let's say one story you have done immediately in a area about deployment of blockchain based solution. Correct. I am assuming most of the stories you have done of that type. Correct. That is addressing this kind of use case and all those things. Maybe revisit the same area and take the story of somebody who has got benefited after that. Correct. In terms of earlier he was dealing with let's say some kind of fake documentation issue in case of land record or all kind of stuff. Correct. Now he doesn't have to worry about those things because blockchain has removed all those stuff. So pick up those things, create a story out of it. You get another material to publish on the same line, revisit. So I want to say make it again and again, and the same deployment part per se, because those deployment you already have, consider them as an asset. Got it. And you'll continue to find the good interesting stories of the people who are getting benefited out of those deployment if you pay enough attention to or keep in touch with the who were involved or who are interfacing with them. Keep calling them once in a month or something, keep asking any good human being here they have found who got benefited heavily, take interview that one, your next story is ready.
Yes.
So those human stories media will love a lot.
Yeah.
And once you combine those human stories a lot, you create very, very interesting characteristics. That's one side. Second side is that being a CEO, my friend, you are the key decision maker, correct?
Yeah.
And since if you see your team currently, it's heavily tilted towards the technology side.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming among your time also, most of your time is going with the technical people also to address their aspects, the features they are developing and all those things, since they are relying on you to give the inputs and other things. Or are there somebody else who is doing so?
There's my CTO
Okay.
who takes care of most of the technical decision. So, but as you rightly told, I try to give the customer side of it, like how it
Got
has
it.
to align with the customer.
Got
But right now, recently we hired a product manager as well who can slowly replace me and reduce my dependency on that.
That's a good thing you've done. That's very good thing you've done, because otherwise your band would get choked there also.
Yeah. As you rightly highlighted, most of my time used to get wasted on that, not getting new businesses. So I'm trying to on the day.
Correct. And it's also outcome of the way the organization is currently designed. Since most of the people are technologists, you end up interacting with them about what to build and all that stuff only. So now let's turn this game fully. So let's say you're 9, 7, 8 people that side, you optimize with that only, and then ensure that sales support side or something, basically partner support side, you have 7, 8 people.
Okay.
Because most of these activities which you are trying to do at the partner development part per se would require people who can go to those local places and build the relations with all those what we discussed, whether chamber of commerce or other things and other stuff. Correct.
Yes.
Alone you throwing or running away is not a good idea.
Makes sense.
Correct. So start thinking about how do you bootstrap that engine. In terms of, let's say, for example, I don't know what kind of internal metrics you have in terms of per partner support, how many partners he has to support or something, I don't know, or what kind of revenue he has to support. If you have certain kind of metrics around that part, if you do not have, then work on those metrics so that it's become easy for you to make choices that how many partner currently you can take and after 6 months you can take once your revenue from a region hits that way or from a particular or from certain potential client hit that way or on those kind of metrics. Correct.
Sure.
Because then you are making more informed choices. I'm sure you're already making in such a way, but I'm assuming a lot out there while communicating to you.
Yeah. We probably have something what you are talking about. Yeah.
Got it. Fine, my friend. So I believe that
Yeah, and
hopefully it
without
was
getting into somebody else's time, just had another point that maybe you have given good suggestion.
sure.
Another channel that we always use that comes to us organically is so see, because most of at the end of the day, most of my clients I speak to are IAS officers,
Sure.
or either district commissioners or secretaries or whatnot, right? And IAS is a closed lobby.
Sure.
And one thing that we have found is recently I closed a project with, and I implemented the project in a very good way, and it was announced, and the IAS officer got good name, and he is in good terms with me. So what I usually ask is, I ask him to refer me to his batchmates who
Sure.
are across different states or something like that. So
Sure.
that has
Sure.
also worked in a not in 100% way, but in a good way to us. So is there
Sure.
any suggestion to us to improve on that particular part as
Yeah,
well?
yeah,
That
yeah. So create a structured referral engine, okay? Because currently it's more on chance basis, correct?
yeah,
And you go and you ask him, he does so, he doesn't do so, and all those stuff, correct?
yes, yes.
So one is map internally within your organization. What are the high points? Let's say when the project is launched, his names comes in the media and other thing that could be high point. And next time when you do a story, you quote him. That could be high point because those high point may not be created by the systems. You can create it for him.
Sure.
So figure out ways and means when those high points can be created. You'll once you pay enough attention, you'll figure out those part. And during those high points for him personally, per se, create a structured mechanism to reach out to him and keep asking in a way that he feel good about it.
Yep.
Because him feeling good about referring to you is very good, important. He should not be feeling that you are intruding again and again to him. Once you have identified that way of making him feel good, correct, you have got a kind of endless flow of continuous lead from him. Correct. So generally, very few startups in India work on structured referral engine, but I recommend all of them who has such play. And in your startups, there is direct, not only one channel, multiple channels are possible. But I'll stop not going deeper into that part because it takes time. But there's one channel which you identified obviously. Basically, if you can structure it and give dedicated target to your guys. When I'm saying structured it, your sales support guy, partner support, or whatever you believe per se, or market support people, have them dedicated target that one they build a good, continue to have good relations with them, or you yourself should have good relations with him. And wherever he get referred or in social media or other things from your side, you continue to share with him those media stories, likes, and all that stuff, what people are saying, all that part. So because what you are actually into personal brand building of these players.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
Exactly.
So better you do that personal brand building for them, better they will do the canvassing for you. Because otherwise, what is there for them?
Correct.
So that is your job, and study in a little bit, create an internal framework also what it take to for you to work on their personal brand.
Correct.
Okay, because that will give you a lot of those stability elements or high point areas, and where you can make them feel good, and in the process continue to interact with them and continue to extract newer connections.
Yeah.
Keep also track of where all they are going. Let's say they are going to an event and all those things. There maybe you can ask them, sir, can you do a shout out for us? Because asking good friends something, a small favor is always good thing. Correct. A startup should not shy away from that. And since these are very influential people in their respective domain, correct, their shout out make huge difference to other government servants or other players.
Yeah.
And they continue to go on such trips. Correct. One way to other way to is that you can also suggest them to create some kind of, let's say, systems, whatever you deployed, a system walkthrough sessions for other government servants, other districts magistrates, or other IS per se. And then you will say that one is that our systems get familiarity among others. Others will learn and will take care of all the walkthrough, all the training of those players and other things. But in a way, what you are doing is stealthily, you are actually selling your systems to these future prospects. So if you can work out certain such programs with these players, because government continue to do this, and government has a lot of budget also for that, to send employees from one place to another. So one IS officer could ask, let's say, from a district to all other districts of that region, if he has deployed something, correct, to send the delegations to learn that systems which has been highly effective or gained certain benefit to the government or to public.
Sure.
Those kind of structures will help you a lot to address them at a scale, the future prospects, rather than one by one.
Sure, Praveen.
Does it make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, it makes all the sense. I've noted some of the main points down.
Sure. So I'll stop now, otherwise I'll continue to, and many of them will lose the point in the process.
Sure, thank you.
I'll just work with the other colleagues because we have limited time. Since Apurva has given me only this much time, Kevin. But you be on the call, Kevin. Maybe something we address others also, it might hit you, no?
Yeah, I'm on the call.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, my name is Sakshat.
Yes,
So I'm the co-founder at Anatham.ai. So it's based on Mangalore itself. So
Okay.
Anatham is an AI-based wellness platform which is designed to help people to improve their emotional well-being through personalized guidance. So the core area where Anatham is we have a Indian classical music therapy where specific ragas and sound patterns are used to support emotional healing and mental balances. So our
Sure.
platform just combines AI based emotional support and mood tracking, journaling, affirmations, guided visualization, and chakra based wellness practices.
Sure.
Based on the user's emotional state, the system just creates a structured wellness journey for a 21 days plan, which is a 21 days plan, which helps user gradually build healthy habits and improve their mental well-being based on their problem statement.
Sure. Sure.
So our vision, at Anatham, is to make a personalized mental wellness accessible while integrating the modern AI with traditional Indian based healing practices.
Got it, Shakshant. And what are your top two, three constraints, Shakshant?
So
And what
currently,
stage you are? You mentioned that also.
yeah, sure. So the top two constraints are one is user retention and consistency, and one more is positioning our application in the SaaS market where there are lot of apps currently, but so that is two constraints.
So what stage you are currently?
So yeah, we have actually built the application and also we have given it to two B2B customers right now. So they are using it. So we are just waiting for the feedback within next 2 3 months. Like
So
not two.
who are your customers? Is it other businesses or
It's
consumers?
an software companies itself based on Mangalore itself.
Okay, so you are saying that your future prospects or customers would be the other software or other companies or
Yeah,
other
yeah,
businesses.
other B2B customers, mainly corporates.
Okay.
Also, once we get strong with the B2B part, we are going to be to direct our customers,
And
B2C.
why should there any B2B takes your product? Just help.
So they get a separate dashboard where they can just look into their organizations their employees well-being, so that it indirectly help them to optimize the task given to some teams, or also help to improve the productivity, which indirectly help in their revenue part.
But it's very difficult to showcase the productivity improvement in such application, no?
Yeah.
So then how do we address that?
Uh,
Because and it comes to the same questions back. Why should they take you?
So yeah, currently we are in that stage. It's we are telling that it helps them.
No, 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 no. See, you can tell anything, but you have to think from their side, no?
Yeah,
Sakshant, let's say you are a CEO of a company and I reach out to you with these applications, correct?
yeah,
It would cost me, you,
yeah,
correct?
yeah,
To employ any new solutions, correct? Now, a company is always mostly, I'm assuming you are dealing with the commercial customers, correct? Who
yeah,
do commercial activity in the market.
yeah,
They are employing another services of another company like yours. They would expect certain benefit or certain way where it make commercial sense for them, correct?
yeah,
Because they are commercial organizations.
yeah.
So if you do not have good answers of that part, why they should take it, then you do not have good customer base also. No?
So basically, it's like example. If the employees are not too much focused in their work, it indirectly creates an issue with the
No, but that could be due to many reasons, no, my friend. Because
yeah,
mental, my or what we call as a mind is actually a culmination of many things. Correct?
yeah,
Let's say something has happened in their life
yeah,
that affect them mentally. Something is going on, let's say financial distress to them. You'll not able to solve that. Correct? And by doing this kind of things also will not solve that. They have to take actions with respect to whatever life stage they are going through. Hello,
yeah, yeah,
then only that get resolved. So what I mean to say that not all tensions or not all mental issues are alike. Correct.
yeah, yeah.
So my request to you is to a little bit be more specific when you
Okay,
describe what kind of users will benefit out of you.
okay,
That's very important. Correct.
okay. Yeah,
And because there are no multiple options available, they can go to a therapist in the market. Correct. They can go
yeah,
to a doctor, correct? Or they can come to you.
yeah,
Now, what kind of user base would ideally suit to you, not to them, and in what kind of conditions they should think about you? That's first thing.
okay,
Second thing is that most of the times, somebody who is dealing with the mental issues or tension-related aspects or something generally do not like to articulate them well,
okay.
correct? Or do not reach out to also somebody
Yeah,
because that's why he's suffering those issues, no?
yeah,
If he reach out, then he discuss and all those things, and those things goes away. But he thinks a lot not on those lines, whatever he is dealing with, what we call it self-talk.
Yeah.
And that's the basically what you call it Ravan in the whole in
Yeah.
this case, because the kind of self-talk they have decide what kind of issues they get into mentally.
Yeah.
Okay, and that you don't have any hold on currently.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the problem is much more deeper than I would say than what we are assuming currently.
Okay.
And you have to get into that deeper aspects and understand what kind of persona or what kind of issues people are dealing with. Both and issues dealing with are ideal customer user base for me. That's first
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
And then identify the type of organizations basically where there is a high pressure environment is there,
Okay.
and where those kind of issues pops up very frequently.
Okay.
Correct. Because for those kind of organization, you will be highly useful.
Okay.
Correct. Because
Yeah.
they have the type of persona and the type of environment that you are looking for, where your applications or your solutions could make a difference.
Okay.
Correct. So and once you have identified these two basically characteristics pretty well, your conversations and everything will change, believe me. Okay,
Okay.
because then you can be very specific whom you are dealing with and what you are addressing.
Yeah.
Currently, your statements are highly generic in nature. Correct.
Yeah.
That you have built an applications that address these things. Now, this is a very, very wide space. The listener doesn't know, at least I don't know what you are solving.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's one part of the story. Second part of the story is that you have mentioned that basically you have combined music therapy along with certain kind of asanas and other things. Correct.
Yeah.
To create holistic solutions to the
They have specific.
to the issues which people are facing with, mental issues people are facing with. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, again, once you identify the personas and the characteristics of the people, then map for what type of people these things would work ideally.
Okay.
Okay, because for all these things will not work, as
Yeah.
you understand. Correct. Okay. Another thing. Now, there are various, I would say, organizations, clubs, or places nowadays in large cities where people goes for yoga. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are highly conscious about their health, their mental well-being, and their physical well-being.
Yeah.
Correct. My request to you is that you start going and start delivering these therapies there as a complementary part first.
Okay.
Because the kind of feedback you will get there will be immensely useful to you, believe me, my friend.
Okay.
Because these are the people who have already sold to Indian traditional methods. Correct.
Yeah.
So convincing them for going through these because they are already going through dhyana and various other such mechanism. Correct.
Yeah.
So introducing them one more as a wellness tool per se would help you to gain the feedback and refine your approach also a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, because I do not know currently what kind of effort has gone in terms of building this part and from where the knowledge base is coming or the source of your knowledge to come where you have combined these two techniques and trying to create the outcome for somebody. Okay.
Okay.
So by taking that freedom of not knowing, I'm suggesting this. If I have suggested something wrongly, then ignore it.
Yeah.
Because I do not know. Correct. As I'm interacting first time with you, Shashikant.
Yeah.
So reach out to them, and that will also help you to refine your product or solutions heavily.
Okay. Yeah.
And believe me, the way I see is that for you, the first set of audiences are these people who have already sold on these things,
Okay.
who are already going through certain kind of everyday meditation, everyday these things and all those things. Because for you to launch product for them or solutions for them to enhance their experiential domain in doing this, it will be a tremendous value. And these people will pay it also because they are already conscious about benefits.
Yeah.
Than somebody in the corporate world who do not know about these things. So a lot of effort goes wasted in terms of educating people.
Yeah.
Correct. Somebody is not doing dhyan. First, you need to bring him in that zone where he sees the value of that dhyan and other things. Correct.
Yeah.
And then basically he'll go and pay for your therapies.
Yeah.
Third thing is that figure out already people who have the trust of your target customers.
Okay.
And let's say the doctors.
Okay.
Okay, whether they are Ayurvedic or allopathic. Correct.
Okay.
Who generally interact with such patients.
Okay.
For example, let's say there is a doctor who deals with mental issues. Okay.
Okay.
Can you give a demo of your solutions or your techniques to him, suggesting once you have identified that where all your solutions will be effective, of course, where you can give him and create a specialized what you call it offering for these doctors for their patients, and both of you can choose to share the revenue out of it.
Okay.
At least their patient, correct?
Yeah.
But their patient will be listening him quite well.
Yeah.
And most of the times, whatever doctor recommends, generally patients takes it.
Yeah.
You have to ensure that you deliver the real outcome, but otherwise it becomes a scam, correct?
Yeah.
And it will not have longevity in the
Yeah.
market, correct?
Yeah.
Because one or two doctors you might get it just like through your personal connects or friends itself also.
Yeah.
But those will go so far. That's all. And they also will slowly run away from you if they see there's no real concrete benefit their patients are getting. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
So ensuring that one in a measurable terms per se is highly important for you.
Okay.
How do you measure it? You have to decide. It's your domain. I'm not an expert in mental health issues.
Okay.
So I'm not the right person to comment on that part. My
Yeah.
specialty is more market. So I restrict myself or my inputs with respect to the market. But you have to figure it out. What are those measurable parameters which are tangible and people can either feel it or see it or observe it in a real
Okay.
way.
Yeah, got.
In a real way, correct?
Yeah.
In a tangible way. That's very, very important and very, very important work for you to do.
Yeah.
So how many people you have currently in the team?
So we are two co-founders, and one more we have an expert who is expert in crystal-based healing. So we have
But you are not dealing with crystal gaze healing currently, no? You have not
so
mentioned at all till now.
no, we are working on that. We have not implemented it. So we are integrating that part with the system.
So my friend, first be clear what you are currently, no?
Okay.
That will help you a lot because you are combining musical therapy with the dhyana, sadhana, and all that stuff, plus
Yeah.
crystal gazing and all those things. So, are there different aspects which each of them will deal with, or there is something which all three combined will deal with? Okay, or there are certain trait of the customers which is required for certain tools to be used there,
Okay.
or you want to create a plethora of options per se for addressing different kind of people with different element or different issues. I do not know the answer. Correct?
Yeah.
Because generally in my experience you cannot be everything for everyone.
Yeah, correct.
You have to choose the sides and you have to choose what play you do well. Correct?
Oh.
So figure out your play and then perform well there, because then when you continuously practice on that stuff, then you will become better. Otherwise you'll be all over the place, not good in anything.
Okay.
Shkant,
Yeah, got it.
my words maybe is a little harsh currently, but just sharing what comes my head.
Yeah.
So this is that you are very, very early stage, more in exploratory phase where you're trying to build or trying to figure it out. Let me put it this way, in terms of what you have to offer to the market. Correct?
Yeah, got it.
So work on that more and more.
Yeah, sure.
Because most of the startups, when we say 80 to 70% startups fails, they do not fail because of there is no market. They fail because they have not solved a good problem
Okay.
either, or they do not have good sense of how the economics of their business will work.
Okay.
These are the most of the times, out of 70%, 50% times, these are the two reasons.
Yeah.
Do not come up with a solution which is good to have.
Okay.
You'll have a lot of struggle in your life otherwise, because you can't make good money with good to have solutions.
Okay.
Build something which has a real pain, which somebody want it badly like yesterday.
Okay.
And who's ready to take out any kind of money for that,
Okay.
because the pain is so real. And if you
Okay.
solve it, then it will continue to increase.
Yeah.
Because a problem or pain which I can live by, many people just ignore it and they continue to live with it.
Okay.
Correct? We do that thing, no, many times.
Yeah, we do.
So, and that's how the human being works. So my request is that figure out real market,
Okay.
which we have not figured out yet. And I do not know whether these B2B players are your market or not. Again, to be frankly speaking, correct? Because I do not see a real benefit for them immediately unless you figured out for what kind of employee base this will be highly useful, what kind of symptoms they should have, and then what kind of organizations generally cause those symptoms.
Okay.
Because most of the times companies would be only addressing such issues if it's an outcome of the workplace. Correct?
Yeah, got it.
If it's an outcome of their personal life, then it's very difficult for you to close deal with them. There could be a pipeline for you to reach out to the end consumer, but they may not pay you directly.
Okay.
Because there's nothing for them.
Yeah.
Correct? And they are not in a space where they have to go and heal everyone. So yeah, very early stage, Shashank. So
Yeah.
I'll refuse myself to give any kind of growth related inputs here.
Okay.
I would say first figure out the basic itself, what you want to offer and whom you want to offer.
Okay.
That itself need a lot of work. A lot of work, when I'm saying a lot of work.